pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What do you need? Yes, I did. I forgot it at home. The prayer today is an Irish prayer. St. Patrick's Day is this Thursday. May God give you for every storm a rainbow, for every tear a smile, for every care a promise, and a blessing in each trial. For every problem life sends, a faithful friend to share. For every sigh, a sweet song, and an answer for each prayer. Amen.
Amen.
On March 10th, for the dog warden, I approved hiring Lacey Portman to the position of part-time shelter attendant to be effective March 21st, 2022, at the rate of $12.29 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. And for maintenance, I approved hiring Joan Staley to the position of part-time general communications clerk / switchboard operator to be effective April 4th, 2022, at the rate of $11.82 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. Both those offers of employment were contingent upon successful completion of the pre-employment conditions.
Morning, Adrian.
Good morning. Okay, so today's financials include an appropriations transfer, supplemental, and cash transfer in the county home fund to close it out and return the leftover money to the general fund. There's also a supplemental in the Commissioner's Capital Reserve Fund and Contract Services for upcoming change orders and encumbrances. Encumbrances include 2 then and nows, one from ADP to Pamela McMahon for employment advertising expenses that are being reimbursed but were not previously encumbered, and from the Commissioners to Shy International Corporation for an MS Office license purchased in 2020, which was supposed to be purchased with COVID money, but was never invoiced until now. The PO in the Coronavirus Relief Fund was canceled at the end of 2020, and there's no more money in that fund. And there's also a travel from the Clerk of Courts to attend the April Ohio Clerk of Courts Association meeting. Among the vouchers are $76,828.74 from the Commissioners to Portage Geauga Joint Juvenile Detention Center for our second quarter 2022 operational commitment. $4,335.04 from Juvenile Probate Court to various vendors, some of which are being paid at the under protest by the auditor due to the service dates being prior to the encumbrance date, and $19,120 from the Sheriff's Office to Meritech for 5 new copiers, 4 for the jail and 1 for their records office. And I did miss a revenue certification, which I will add. There's a revenue certification from mental health for additional revenues to be received in 2022.
Okay, that payments under protest for the
Yes.
encumbrance dates, are these on top of the ones that from last week? Are these
Yeah.
new?
Yeah, these are just new ones that they've entered.
Okay. Okay.
Because the auditor can't not
Because
pay them,
Yeah.
he's paying them under protest.
Right.
These are the
No, I
ones that he'll
understand.
report to the state auditor.
Okay. And it's because of the dates.
Correct,
They should
so-
be then and nows.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, technically that's what they should be.
Mhm.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lund?
Yes.
Commissioner Rea?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
What's up, Shane?
This morning, item number 3 and 4 are requests to award. Item number 3, the Geauga County Engineer's Office is requesting the board award bid to Chagrin Valley Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Chagrin Road, County Highway number 9, Section A, Bainbridge Township, in the amount of $374,025.80. That's the lowest and best bid.
You read?
Make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lund?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Item 4, similarly, the county engineer's office is requesting the board approve award the bid for Stream Valley paving for the resurfacing of Jug Street, County Highway 46, sections F and G, in Burton and Troy Townships, in the amount of $637,759.90.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Yeah.
Mr. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 5, this is a new project we're putting out to bid. This is for the application of pavement markings on various roads in Geauga County for 2022. This resolution requests that the board approve and execute the bid specifications cover page, and further resolution sets the bid opening for Wednesday, April 6th at 2 p.m. Notice of the bid will be advertised on March 17th and on the county website.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes, with that bid, I remember years ago, the townships were allowed to utilize the same price for their township roads.
Close to that, and this year, we actually incorporated their scope in the bid.
Oh, okay.
So in the past, we ran a county striping program and offered, after the bid, an opportunity for the townships to utilize that bulk pricing. The townships pay a little bit more per mile because most of their miles have double yellow, and it's a paint thing.
Okay.
This year, and I believe last year as well, we incorporated, we requested all the townships send in their lists and participate directly. So probably about 30% of the total cost is township roads
Okay.
that will be reimbursed to the county, but they'll be included in the bidding process this time.
Because that's always helpful.
Yep, it's definitely less expensive to do it through this bidding than if they were to hire it out themselves. So,
Thanks.
item number 6, County Engineer's Office requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 22-030 to order the replacement of the Munro Bridges Structure 32-0.92 and 32-2.71 in Auburn Township. This resolution also requests the board approve and execute the cover sheet of the plans. And further, this resolution sets the bid opening also for Wednesday, April 6th at 2:05 p.m. Notice of bids will be advertised on March 17th and on the county website.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you. Third item number 7, Geauga County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 22-031 to order the replacement of the Rolling Brook Drive Bridge, Structure 578-0.03 in Bainbridge Township. This resolution also requests the board approve and execute cover sheet of the plans. And further, this resolution sets the bid opening also for Wednesday, April 6th at 2:10 p.m. Notice the bid will be advertised on March 17th and on the county website.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 8. This is a request for final plat. The County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the final plat for McFarland Wood Subdivision Phase 2, dedicating the extension of the existing Tulip Lane Township Road 307 in Bainbridge Township. And we've asked that the commissioners, upon approval, would sign the Mylar and return that to us when completed.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
I think it's in the middle.
And then
And
9
just
is
the
also.
top one, right?
Yes.
And then my final item today, the County Engineer's Office is requesting the board accept the dedicated extension of Tulip Lane, Township Road 307, in the McFarland Wood Subdivision, Phase 2, for total maintenance by Bainbridge Township. Upon signing the plat, this makes this officially a public road, and Bainbridge Township will be responsible to perform all maintenance and repair on it going forward, which currently they are at least doing the snow plowing maintenance on it now.
What's the length of Tulip Road? Like an eighth of a mile or something like that?
Yeah, it's really short, and I think the extension is several hundred feet with 5 or 6 lots on it.
Okay.
But it was paper platted, or at least it was drawn out in its original development phase to extend, and this is some years later, they finally done that. Am I taking that Mylar with me today, or am I coming back?
You want it?
Yeah.
You may just have to date it.
Okay.
If you didn't have to date on it, you would just need to date. Here's the,
Good
I just
catch.
need a motion on number 9.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Gentlemen?
Thanks.
Ma'am?
Thank
Thank you.
Good one.
Just a couple things.
Yay.
How's it going?
Didn't see you hiding back there.
Oh, low profile.
Yeah. Morning.
Morning.
How are you? Good. Good. Sun shining.
That would be nice for a couple days.
That's it.
This is the inmate phone contract. It's an addendum to it. It's a scanner that the mail that comes into the inmate gets scanned, and then they read them on the kiosk, and so that you don't have that transferred into the, where they're touching it, when they could possibly put drugs or whatever on it. It just kind of secures it, and it doesn't cost us anything.
Very good. And is that part of their, don't they have phone cards too or something like that, or?
Yeah.
Is that all together?
This is all part of that.
Part of that.
program. The CPC Communications does the phone system.
Okay. Very good.
I'll make that motion.
Smart. Second.
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Good
Thanks for
idea.
coming in.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because all that happens. Yeah. Roger.
Good morning.
Number 11, I need permission to seek bids for the mass notification system. This is used by the sheriff's office for dispatch. It's also used by Perry. It's a split 3-way cost generally. It's the same thing that we've done for like the last 10 years. It's just that this year they wanted to go out to bids. So I also appreciate Christine, her help getting this.
Absolutely. So how does that work? Is it, when it's mass notification, you mean, does it go broadcast through what, through like television or?
So, no, this is like when we get the Perry drill and you guys get the text message.
On your phones?
On your phone.
Oh, okay.
Now multiply that by every single fire, sheriff, police, school, DD, electric.
And they're all plugged into that? Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
Good seeing you, Roger.
You got my email yesterday.
Hi, Glenn.
Morning, how are you all?
Good morning.
A couple of weeks ago, I came, this is for the hiring of a fiscal officer in our department, and out of the applications that we got, she's the best fit.
So you got somebody?
Yes,
Okay.
Sue. She's been with us for 11 months.
Okay.
And when Diane retired, she's taking her spot.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Diane was the fiscal officer?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're just moving
Yes.
over. Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
So, you know, have a good day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Good morning.
Hi, Glenn.
Good morning.
I was here in December, and ODOT decided to revise the contract. Usually we do one federal, one state, one OTP2, we do all the contracts separate. We did the federal one, they wanted to incorporate the state, they didn't word it correctly, so you guys approved the federal, they've sent it back as revision, including the state money on it. So there'll be, the 610, 839 federal funds for operating, and that's the 50% reimbursement that you guys approved. Then there's 190,162 in federal funds for cap maintenance. For a total of $801,001 in federal. We revised it and it added $400,000 in state funds. $200,000 is the normal money I get in state funds. I requested and received an additional $200,000 in state funds for operating, and then I requested additional $47,541 in cap maintenance funds. So all the state funds, the $47,541 is all 100%. I don't have any reimbursements, Joe. The federal funds is the stuff that's reimbursed. We did in December. They just put it all together on one new contract.
This is what you applied for, or you're gonna apply for?
I've already applied for
You
this.
have.
This is what I've been awarded.
Oh,
So this is just so
okay.
that we can receive this money.
Gotcha.
So the federal money, you guys approved already, but then they put the contract together with the state on it. So now there's just more money coming on one contract instead of a couple contracts.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then what was the, I saw that there was an email about, there were, a discussion about with ODOT.
Correct.
What was that about?
That's with ODOT, because we've been requesting how we can get more money and what we can do. So this is, they're just gonna come up and fiscally see what we can do, how we're doing it, what we're doing, to try to figure out if there's anything we can do better. if
So
we
they're
can-
gonna do a review
Of the
entire
entire
thing.
Geauga County Transit.
Okay,
They're also doing, Lake County Transit, because right now we do the software with them.
yeah,
So they're seeing if there's anything else that
you can partner
that
together.
we can partner with to try to do it. It's two separate studies, but they're looking in the end to see if there's anything else we can do. So it'll be an overview of how we operate, when we operate, what we do. They would like to talk to all of you guys
Right.
as to what you're looking at, what we're looking for. They're gonna compare it to other county agencies in Ohio that are similar to our demographics versus just like compared to like Penn or RTA, because we're obviously not the
Sure.
size of them. So we're gonna compare it to other ones in the state of Ohio to see what we can do, see if there's any improvements or not improvements, or what
Okay,
is best for us. So they're gonna be working on that in the next year to try to figure out what we can improve.
gotcha. When do you think they'll schedule that meeting? Did we get a date set with them on that? or
Well,
no?
the 4th, 5th, and 6th of April, they're gonna be coming out this way, so I don't know what you guys are doing. I mean, those days, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
They would like to know what you guys are doing to meet with you guys. Then they're gonna also come out and see my site and all kinds of other things.
Okay.
But that's the initial. I know there's gonna be more, because it's gonna be throughout the year, there's gonna be different plans. This is the initial, try to figure out what we're currently doing, and
It's a
then make
good idea.
recommendations after that.
Okay, great, yeah, keep in touch, let us know what we'll to make it available.
Well, I know the one is a Tuesday, so I know April 4th, 5th, and 6th, it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so.
Yeah.
If it was a Tuesday, you guys are already here, maybe we could do something after session if that would work. I don't know
Yeah,
what you guys
I don't
are
know,
doing,
I
or-
mean, with all three of us being together, how do we do that?
Individually.
Just
Or
advertise.
just do a workshop,
Yeah,
like a work session at the end of the meeting.
or yeah, yeah, that's fine too. Okay,
That might work then for that.
Okay,
Joanne, do we have any vans or vehicles to pick up someone in a wheelchair?
all of them are wheelchair accessible.
All of them? Okay,
Yeah, every one of them.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Good morning.
Morning.
Kathleen.
Morning.
Okay, Water Resources has 3 items. Number 14 is just the latest partial payment request from Trax, as well as the OWDA fund pay request that goes with it to get disbursement. Payment request number 13 is for $64,258.64.
okay,
I'll make that motion.
second,
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then number 15 is for their first retainage payment request. Last week, we approved the application for that. This is the request for $150,000. It's their first part of retainage, and it's really the majority of it. There's about $54,000 left.
okay,
So moved.
second,
Mr. Spiller.
Aye.
Mr. Lemon.
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
And number 16, we're asking to grant permission to advertise for the position of maintenance foreman, number 2317. First internally for 5 days since it is a union position, and then with those applications through March 21st through 4:30 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry, accepted March 21st through the 25th at 4:30 p.m. And if no qualified candidates are found, then externally until the position is filled.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spiller.
Aye.
Mr. Lemon.
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next item, excuse me, the next item deals with the authority for me to, granted by the board. Because normally at the beginning of the year, pass a resolution with a list of items that I am authorized to do under your guidance, and that's what I read, what I read at the beginning of this meeting. This is just an amendment to add one additional thing into that, which is for me to approve contract bid addendums.
Does approve and issue any addendum for competitive bid solicitation, statement of qualifications, or request for proposals.
Okay. And we checked with the prosecutor's office, that's fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
They-
She's
they put
actually
the
the one who
resolution together.
requested
Okay, okay.
to put it on, so.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mr. Spiller.
Aye.
Mr. Lemon.
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
The next item deals with the Redwood Development that Chardon is doing down here off of, it's being done in Chardon down here off of the extension of 7th Avenue. Excuse me, back in the industrial park. The city has put that in as a TIF and has passed their resolutions. We presented an argument against their TIF. The problem is we don't have a whole lot of, when the city decides to do it, we don't have a whole lot of authority. There's language in there that if we can't come to an agreement that there's certain, there's a set percentage that it would be.
So
the
they
city knows that, so they write their TIF language that way.
So they rejected our negotiation?
We went back and negotiated. We were at least able to get this agreement together,
Okay.
which caps the amount of tax dollars that they can pull from the TIF,
Mm-hmm.
and sets language in there that the city cannot go back and change the TIF without the commissioner's approval.
Okay, so just in layman's terms, they're taking tax dollars from the entire county and utilizing it specifically just for Chardon and certain projects?
Right, the tax dollars are coming from whatever the increased value of that property would be, but
Mhm.
yes, it is from basically, we use that money, and other agencies use that money all over the county. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, for example, like DD or Department of Aging or Job and Family Services doesn't realize those funds?
Doesn't realize that increase in funds, correct?
Mhm. Okay.
And that all falls under Ohio Revised Code, where they're permitted to do that under the
Under
Revised
TIF.
Code, Under TIF, yes.
Mhm. Okay.
But we at least wanted to get some kind of language in there that they couldn't come back and change it later, and they also capped what they could get, because if they, even in a TIF, they estimate what the cost is of the improvements they're gonna do.
Mhm.
There's no language in the TIF language that says that once they've recouped that amount, they can't recoup any more.
Mhm.
It's whatever they can recoup that throughout the time, the 30-year time or whatever they happen to set that TIF at.
Do you have any?
They just get a cap on what they can pull, which is their estimate.
Do you know what the estimate is?
I don't know it off the top of my
Okay.
head. I'd have to go back and look at the TIF language.
Okay. Okay.
This
Okay.
is, it says, shall be capped at a not to exceed amount of $4 million.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mr. Spiller.
Aye.
Mr. Lemon.
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer.
Yes.
Oh,
Your hands are tied on that one.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, it's,
nothing you
the
can-
best you can do is get what we got, which is getting them to put a cap on it and bring that to.
Okay.
So the next item on the agenda is to acknowledge and accept the Munson Township trustees' letter regarding an action that they had taken to rescind Resolution 2022-08 petitioning the Board Commissioners to vacate the public right-of-way upon Olive Hospital Drive. So they submitted their petition on March 2nd to our office. And in looking at the process, it was realized that a step had been missed on their end. So they have taken action to rescind that petition. So we are asking you to not take any action at this time regarding the vacation of the public right-of-way on Hospital Drive.
Okay, so, well, this is in concert with the building going on up there, is that the reason for this, or will that become the county's drive then, or?
No,
Yeah.
this is.
This is different.
It currently is a public road. It's the drive that goes from 44 to the emergency room.
Yes.
Oh, that- okay.
That drive, that's hospital.
Not the, okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So that's, the hospital just, I guess, had requested it become, because now that they own all the property around it.
Oh, I see, okay,
It becomes.
So it'll be their drive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what their plan is to do with it. They may make it one way in or one way
Okay.
out or whatever. but
Okay.
They have requested that.
Gotcha.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Lemon?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
We'll probably see it again. They'll probably come back around to petition to actually ask for the vacation, but they missed a step in the process, so they have to backtrack.
That's why
Do
they're
what they
rescinding.
need to do, and then we'll probably see it again down the road.
good.
The next item is just to deal with the appointments to the ADP Board. When we did the reorg, we only set Commissioner Dvorak as the primary and Commissioner Lennon as the secondary. We didn't go through and do all the way down the line. So
Okay.
that if for some reason, like was going to possibly happen this afternoon, where the three of you would be at the solid waste meeting, I
You
could have
could
gone
go.
as the alternate. So
Okay.
This is just setting that up officially.
Okay.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Lennon?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
And on that, speaking of which, solid waste has been moved from today at 1 to next Tuesday, the 22nd at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
Yes. So that has been changed. I talked to John this morning, so.
That's it.
Well, at this time, we had an exciting meeting last Wednesday, and just to go into more research and review, I'd like to make a motion to rescind Resolution 22-020. Just to give us some time to research the ARPA funds, what we can and what we can't do, and things like that.
okay.
And we can always put a resolution back on in 30 to 40 days or something like that.
Can you make an amendment to extend that? Or is
I would
it,
have to talk with with the prosecutor's office to see. We do have until next week within the language that's in the existing resolution
Yeah.
before the time frame runs.
okay,
So if we wanted to just do an extension on it, I can check with the prosecutor's office and see. We'd have to do that. My assumption would be we'd have to do that by a separate resolution.
okay. And what if we did this, worded this resolution today, what is that?
I believe we could just, if, that would eliminate the assessment processes at this time.
Is there any
They could
time?
come- I don't know if there's any time frame on that.
Okay.
I would request that maybe wait and hold on to that until next week, so I can check those, verify those
Okay.
things, whether,
Yeah. Why don't we do that, wait till next week and make sure, right?
yeah, then we can verify that we're not gonna make a motion or do something that might affect being
Yeah,
able to.
because I would like to say, that, I'd like to have the prosecutor's office review and get their opinion on those ARPA funds, if they can be used in this specific project.
That's what we're looking at right now. So
Okay.
And we got final answers on that.
Okay. So why don't, if that's okay, why don't we wait till next week and make that decision if we're gonna rescind or not?
Okay. The motion dies for lack of second. We'll move the
Okay.
conversation to next week.
Okay, is that all right?
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
Public comment. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name is Mike Balco. I live on Howard Drive in the Brookshire allotment. I had a question pertaining to the ARPA funds. Will the commissioners schedule a public meeting with all three commissioners at the meeting in the future? Would that be possible?
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're gonna, like we said, this is something that, as far as, you know, this isn't new to anybody, this project, obviously, and it's not new to you guys, and I you know, not to get too off in the weeds, this has been an undue hardship, I think, put on the residents of this community. That being said, this project was initiated and started before those ARPA funds came. It's just come to our attention within the last, well, I guess it was Wednesday, I wasn't at the meeting, but there may be a ability to use those, some or all of the funds to alleviate some of that burden on the residents. But we, as commissioners, have not talked to our legal counsel yet to get a definite opinion if we can use those funds yet on that. There are some federal guidelines that may need to be met in certain projects, since this project is almost complete and has already been underway. And the loan's been taken out, correct?
Yes.
So if we can use those, then yes, we would have a public meeting to discuss moving forward and seeing what, if anything, we, you know, if we'll use those funds, if not to help alleviate some of it or all of it, or what we can do.
Okay, I just wanted it to go down as public record.
Yeah,
Thank
Sure.
you.
I mean, anytime we meet as a board, it'll be in public, so.
Go ahead.
Hi, my
Yes.
name is
Go ahead, state
my
your
name is Margie Russ. I'm on Howard Drive. I'm also involved in the sewer project, and I have a couple questions for you, commissioners. Why did you come up with the resolution to assess our homes instead of using any other funds or any other means?
Well, the process to assess, which has been discussed since the beginning of the construction out there, or actually even before the construction, is there's rules within the Ohio Revised Code we have to follow for that. This project was put in because of the failing septic systems within.
Totally
that
understood.
And we
Second
did
question.
Just one word. We did search out before we started even construction.
I realize that.
Any free money we could find.
Yeah, I mean, this was, you know, we
Great.
talked to our state representatives trying to find grant money, you know, years ago. I think
Right.
you were probably aware.
But let's fast forward. We've
Yeah.
got funds.
Well,
We have funds.
we might.
Under the infrastructure
Yeah.
that we should be used,
Yeah.
that your legal counsel is going to go and investigate.
Right.
How does that timeline tie into the meeting with the prosecutor's office and having a public meeting? Because this deadline is ticking away on us as homeowners. And also, who else has applied for those funds to use in Geauga County?
We've had some letters of request.
There's been lots of requests.
So is that our procedure, that this community needs to put in an official letter of request? Or is that what you guys are going to do?
Well, that's what happened in the past. We had a letter from the hospital during the COVID. You know, all the hospitals took a beating, but yet they're still getting funds from the federal government for taking somebody in with COVID and things like that. So that's the only formal letter that we received was from the hospital. That I know.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I think is we're taking the discussion at the meeting on Wednesday as the formal request from them.
Okay.
There's no-
Just want to make sure you're not waiting on us
No.
or thinking that we're going to do this with
No, we
where
don't.
this is your specialty. And this is why you folks are here to represent us.
And to be clear, the amount we're talking about is about close to about $3.2 million.
Yes.
Okay, and the county has received what, about $9 million?
Well, we've received $9 million at this point. There's scheduled to be another $9 million coming this year.
On top of
And,
that?
yeah.
So
Total
so
of
there'll be a
18.
total of about 18.
Correct.
And how many houses, or how many houses? are we talking
113.
about?
113.
113 homes.
Trustee Mike Brown, good question.
I just want to reiterate everything that the residents here are saying and implore you to see about using these ARPA funds. As a township, we've inquired upon the prosecutor's office about using our small amount of ARPA funds to try to help with the tie-ins. Would it help at all if you're talking about formal requests? We meet tomorrow night. I can have a formal request from Chardon Township on behalf of the trustees on behalf of these residents to you Thursday morning.
For the record, I think I, as a resident, would appreciate that.
Yes, I mean.
An additional formal letter.
We've wrote to every representative in past office and current office trying to find anything, and there's been very little help. This is gonna be a tremendous detrimental
And this,
impact on our town.
I mean, I don't know how long you've been a trustee there. Have you been there?
17 years.
17. So you were part of the initial process.
I sat in on the conference call initially that we had
Yeah.
with the EPA, imploring them to test all the systems,
Right.
as opposed to doing this, because I'll be honest with you, this was unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, this was not.
This was
just to be
4 or 5
clear-
people that tied directly into that common
Right.
trunk line.
Right. I mean, this was something prior to my being a commissioner. I know
Yes.
it originated, but, and, you know, this thing has been, it just doesn't make logical sense, you know, what they're trying to, on these types of, anybody's home, even if these were, you know, $1 million homes, it would still be unnecessary and burdensome, I think, you know, that, but I just want to make it clear that this is not a project that the county commissioners prior to us or the current, or this board has been pushing to build a sewer system in that area. This is the EPA that has been the ones
I know.
mandating this project.
I know, and I want to clarify there on one
Yeah.
thing. It's been put in the paper before, different people from different county agencies saying this is something the township trustees asked for.
Right.
That is not true.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't think anybody asked for this, you know, this, and again, one of my concerns, you know, the cat's out of the bag, and I believe that the EPA is waiting in the wings. This is not the only example in Geauga County where this could potentially happen. I mean, there's other, without naming names, I'm sure people can think of them off the top of their head where this is gonna potentially happen again, so, I guess and I guess what we need to weigh as a board is, you know, we have had this windfall of money, I guess, that, you know, a few months ago wasn't here, or it wasn't even an option. So, do we utilize, you know, 1/6 of our ARPA funds on 113 homes, knowing that there's been other sewer projects in the county that have had to pay for theirs, and they've actually, some of them are still paying on theirs, so they're gonna be like, where's our relief, you know, or where's the future relief, you know? So, it's, this is not a good position for anybody to be in, but we're gonna weigh our options, and you know, if we're legally allowed to use this for this particular project, I'm gonna consider it very seriously to see what we can do to help with that.
And I'm sure we know that there is a time limit to appropriate these funds.
We're well aware of that.
And do we know what that date is, so that the public knows?
December 31st, 2026, to have all the funds be used up.
If I may also ask for other consideration to be made, I was informed just recently that the residents here are going to be given 6 months to tie in, regardless of their current septic situation. We have residents in this area that have recently put in brand-new septic systems that have passed inspection and are working flawlessly, as are probably 95% of the systems in the area. Can there be some sort of consideration made for these people?
95% of the area?
I'm
I don't
making,
know.
I'm making an
That's an older
estimation here.
neighborhood over there. I would say it's probably closer to the.
Well, our Board of Health has done point-of-sale inspections now for over 15 years.
Right.
And the general rate of passage is over 90%. I mean, that's published.
That is not true in that subdivision.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that exactly because we didn't test every system.
Right.
But I can tell you this, it's 4 or 5 people that tied directly into the common tile that was put in that subdivision when it was installed, when it was built, that caused the discharge that was noticed when we were maintaining that same tile. The public water department was there helping us sewer jet the common tile. We were trying to alleviate flooding problems in that neighborhood, and that's when the discharge was found, and the water department called the EPA.
No, I don't think that's no. I know that much, and I wasn't here. I wasn't there personally, but that's not true. That's not true.
Oh, it's done, it's done. That's just-
Yeah, it is, yeah,
Right.
exactly,
Let's just get it paid
exactly,
for. I mean,
yeah.
you have the funds to pay for it, we'll be,
Yeah.
we'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I'm
sure
just,
it would,
I'm
yeah.
just saying that there's a handful of people that are now causing 113 of them to be,
Yeah, like I said, there's
Punished.
plenty other examples in this county where I think the EPA is waiting in the wings to do very similar things to, making small lots sewer up. So this is not unique.
But I'm willing to work hard to alleviate some of the burden on the residents.
It's a big burden, gentlemen and ladies. It's a big burden.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody it would be,
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
For anybody.
Yes, it is. We had the auditor there who shared some wonderful information, what will happen to our homes.
Mm-hmm,
And I'm sure you guys don't want to be responsible
well.
for having 113 homes.
Yeah, I don't think you want to pin that on us for being responsible.
I'm just saying, there's
Yeah.
money there. We've got to
Yeah.
really work on getting that money towards our project.
Yeah.
We have to have it appropriated.
Well,
Problem
yeah,
is,
see.
if our sewer, we have this and have to pay all this money, I am never going to vote for another school levy.
Right.
Because Chardon will be in big trouble. Never a road levy, never a fire levy, and I vote faithfully every time,
Mhm.
but I can't afford to do that. My mother and I live in the same house, I'm disabled, she's 84.
Mm-hmm,
There's an income of about $1,800 between us a month. We're barely making it now. The house, we've been in the house since 1961.
mm-hmm.
I mean, we're gonna have to just say bye-bye, walk away and lose it to taxes and everything else and try to find someplace else. Go to Section 8, I don't know. That falls back on the county again. I know $3 million's a lot of money, but can you afford 113 houses to sit empty and look like, the inner city with crime and everything moving
Right.
in, crack houses and whatever else?
Right.
We don't need that.
Yeah. No, I mean, let's see what the intent of these dollars is for, and if we're legally allowed to do it, and then we can see what we can do. Like I said, a couple months ago, this wasn't an option.
Correct.
This was coming regardless.
We understand. We
So-
understand, and we're begging.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I get it. I get
Down
it.
on our hands and knees at this point
Yeah.
for help.
Yeah.
And it's up to you
And we,
three.
and
to
I
help.
think, some of the other elected officials in this county, some of our state reps, I know they were trying to see if they could, and, we've reached out to our congressmen, we've tried to find different ways in the past to see if we could help either find some relief, even if it wasn't the entire project, but at least some relief.
Right.
And they basically just told us to pound it,
We
so.
did
Well, we're lucky now.
Yeah,
We're lucky now,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we just got to get that money appropriated to
Yeah.
our project.
Yeah,
We did receive $800,000 from Dave Joyce's efforts for his area for the McFarland plant, one of our oldest plants in the county. And that's helpful, the $800,000 for that plant.
But we need a little bit more than that.
Mr. Walter,
Yeah, something I want to say that, and I know everybody wants to blame somebody for everything.
who do you want to blame?
But it's a little disingenuous to tell people that this ARPA money is an unknown entity. We don't know how we can spend it. So for example, 2 years ago, we got $3 million from CARES Act. And there were permitted uses in CARES Act, and they were published. I personally watched a dozen one-hour videos on the proper use of ARPA money. That was available to anybody who wanted to watch it. We were made aware that ARPA money was coming in April of last year. And the commissioners were well aware of it prior to us receiving the $9 million. You passed a resolution to allocate percentages of ARPA money directly into one category, which is utilities.
Right.
So it's just not, and now the issue seems to be that you've already secured a loan. And we all know that ARPA money cannot be used to pay a loan off.
Right.
But when was the loan secured? Was it secured after the $9 million?
Well, I think,
The loan was secured at least 2 years ago when this project started.
yeah, and
Well-
the big one, I just put it out there, the big one that I want to verify is that the federal requirements, for this project that we had built line up with what they're saying, because I think there's requirements, what is it?
It's federal procurement
The
requirements.
procurement requirements. So that's what we're having the
prosecutor's office review for us.
Well, have you contacted the prosecutor's office since Wednesday?
Yeah,
On
I
this-
have.
On this subject?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I've talked to him, Jim's talked to him.
have the commissioners asked him for an opinion on whether?
We are
ARPA
working
money
on it
was-
right now.
Wow. He's not aware of that.
Yeah, he is aware of it.
Well, I got a text that says different.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
just ask him.
I just got off the phone with him
I just
after I
asked him, are
heard.
you aware of this? And he says, I don't know anything about this. They haven't asked me for this.
Well, that's what, we both talked to him.
I talked to Jim last
Well,
night.
I think the problem is 113 people have not been told the truth for quite a while,
Yeah.
probably 9 years. And it needs to
What do you,
stop.
I'm sorry,
It needs to-
how's that?
it needs-
How's that? For
Well,
9
here's a
years
good
they,
example.
how's that, Chuck?
I was at the meeting when it was announced what their fees would be bi-monthly. But no one has told these people that come January, you have an automatic increase built into those fees. A $4 bi-monthly increase to their fees.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you tell them that?
I don't know.
Post it on the website. So these people are supposed to go to the websites to figure out what their future is. And you got them assembled
Well, I
in a
mean,
room.
that increase was for the entire, that increase was for.
Adrian, why don't you come in and we can talk about this?
No, but Chuck, I don't understand what you're trying to say, that the county is lying to the
What I'm trying
residents?
to say is these people have been deceived for a long time, well before
How is that?
this board, well before this board. Because they were told, as you can see, they've been told various conditions, who reported what. All that is rear view mirror issue.
Absolutely.
None of that matters.
No, it doesn't, but you're talking about it. You're
What
talking
I'm
about
talking
it.
about is you're asserting to these people, we don't know what ARPA money can be used for.
We don't.
We don't know if it can be specifically for this project.
And you've had almost a week to talk to the prosecutor and get an opinion.
Well, Chuck, I mean, if you were that concerned about this a week ago, why didn't you come
I
talk
was
to
made
me?
aware of this 24 hours before the Wednesday meeting.
I mean, it seems this a little disingenuous, you standing up here
Well,
in front of the
if
crowd
you feel,
right now.
Tim, if you feel better blaming me for
No,
this
I'm not
issue,
blaming you.
I'm
You're
happy to
blaming
take
us.
the load.
You're blaming
What
us.
I'm saying is the buck's got to stop somewhere.
Absolutely.
These people need help.
What do you think we're doing right now?
I think you're pushing it down the road.
Really?
You wouldn't even rescind the resolution.
So would you like us to do it right now?
I think what you should do is rescind the resolution.
Well, I mean, I don't think that makes a hill of beans difference
It does,
between
it
now
stops
and
the
next.
clock. It absolutely stops
Yeah.
the clock.
I mean, we could rescind it. I was just saying, we're waiting on,
These people have been told the resolution was going to be rescinded.
who told them that?
You
Who
did.
told them that?
I didn't, I've been told by other people here that the resolution was on the agenda to be rescinded. That's why I'm here.
Okay,
It's not
so
on the agenda.
how can we get that
Thanks, Chuck.
on the board to get it rescinded
Yeah.
for you all to vote on it? How can we do an emergency meeting?
Yeah. Next Tuesday, I mean,
The resolution.
I don't know all your
the-
processes,
the
I
The
apologize.
resolution was passed on February 24th. The language in the resolution says it's 30 days. So what we were discussing earlier, that Jim made a motion and then there was a lack of second and the motion failed.
Right.
Due to the fact that you've requested to ask for additional information
from our legal counsel.
to see
Yeah,
if it could
right.
be extended and how that process has to be done. The resolution is good until March 24th. We meet again on Tuesday, the 22nd. That's what they are looking at, is next Tuesday, taking action, whether it would be to rescind that motion or to actually extend it.
Right.
That's what,
Thank you for that
Okay.
clarification.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
Okay,
think
thanks.
we're looking for.
Thanks.
When-
She's
when-
better at it than I am. Yeah.
Understood. That's
Yeah.
why she gets paid the big
That's
bucks.
right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we need simple language here, gentlemen, and
100%.
Commissioner's Clerk,
Yeah.
and we appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't need, listen, I'm not trying here to score points or grandstand before, anybody. I want to try and do what we can legally do first, and then we're gonna try and do the best we can to do this,
So just to understand, you guys are gonna meet with legal counsel.
Yeah,
You're gonna meet with the prosecutor's office.
yeah.
And we're all gonna have an answer at your 3/24 meeting.
This, I think the
322.
key
When?
is to see if the
Next
federal
Tuesday, the
requirement's been met, right? Yeah.
But then, wait a minute, if we
no,
only
the
have,
resolution is good until the 24th of March. That's 30 days.
right?
So next Tuesday, they meet on the 22nd.
Gotcha.
So it's within 30 days.
Okay.
So they don't have to have a special meeting, they don't have to schedule anything, they have time to continue to do the research and get where they need to be for next Tuesday.
Is it on the agenda? Will it be on the agenda?
They have to tell me what I'm doing, but yes.
I think what Mike was alluding to earlier was.
Yeah, way in the corner. State your name, please.
Go ahead. My name's Jim Bartlett, 1098220. I think what he was asking for a special meeting, not your regularly scheduled meetings at 9:30 on a Tuesday morning, is he was hoping that maybe we could have one at nighttime. Is that right, Mike?
Yes.
Where other people in the neighborhood that actually couldn't take off
Right.
during the week couldn't make the meeting. That's
I
what
see,
I'm thinking.
yeah.
I think Marge was saying about the same thing too. You know, if they're gonna have the meeting by next Thursday, because that's 24.
Well,
But I
right, but
think
don't
that's
you
what
think
Mike
it would
was-
be better to have everything in place instead of having,
Yes.
200 people screaming at you? Let's investigate
Yeah.
and give us our emergency meeting in the evening, because contrary, some of us do work during the day
Yeah.
in that community, and give them the facts instead of it being 200 ridiculous questions.
Mhm.
What have you tried? What have you done for us?
Mhm.
Past is gone. This is the future, and
Future.
here's our money, and here's what we're gonna do, and here's how much you're gonna get for your project.
Mhm.
So the lien comes off our properties.
Mhm.
I'm okay with an open evening meeting.
What,
So when will that be?
Well, I think right now, for next Tuesday's meeting, that it would either be rescinding this motion or extending it. That'd be one of that'd be the two decisions. That I don't think the big public meeting needs to happen before that time, so we would then have additional time to set up.
So we can broadcast to our community through the newspapers that by 3/22, you're either going to
Next Tuesday.
change your minds.
It would either be rescinded or extended.
Right.
And then we could hold a public meeting in the evening to have that further discussion with everybody in the subdivision.
Unless by then they say, yeah, go ahead and spend the money.
Well, if you say spend the money,
I
I
think
mean, we'll have a party, forget the meeting.
We would still have a public meeting.
That's only part
Yeah,
one.
great. Okay, that'd be cool.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I had a quick question. This resolution was made back when? 02, 020?
the one that we're talking about right now?
February 22nd, 22.
February 22nd.
24th, I'm sorry.
Now, I didn't understand it. You guys knew about the funds in April of last year, and they were delivered in August of last year, $9 million. So why the big delay, and you were just voted on the resolution in February?
The final
I mean, that money was there in August, correct?
The Treasury's
The guidelines.
the Treasury's final rules.
The guidelines have
not until
changed.
January on how you could use the funds and what could be
In
used.
January
In January of this year.
of this year. Okay.
Even though the
The
federal
money was
government released
received
the
in
money
August,
back
is that
in,
correct?
they released the money back in July or June or August of last
The
year.
Treasury rules are
But they didn't give
changing
us-
every day.
Yeah, right,
Every day, they're putting a new announcement of what the Treasury rules are.
right.
I know.
They
I
will
understand.
never
I
stop
see.
changing the rules.
We are waiting on what was considered to be the final rule, though.
You won't get the final rule till the monies can't be spent anymore. That's what happened with CARES Act.
We have
It's a moving
the
target.
final rule that the Treasury released as the final rule, realizing things change as it goes down, but it gives us a basis to move forward.
Okay, so we're
Well, let's
talking
do it
about the
swiftly.
resolution now, but I guess my point is, if we had the money back in August of last year, why wasn't part of that money considered back then?
The big reason why is because of the federal procurement requirements that it stated at the time that you had to follow. If you were gonna use money for projects, they had to follow the federal procurement requirements.
Which this job was not.
Which was not the way this job was set up initially.
And they were already on.
So you did investigate using CARES, ARPA money prior to the resolution.
Back last year, yes.
And you got an opinion of the prosecutor saying it was not available to be used.
No, we looked at what the language was that said you had to use federal procurement requirements on projects if you were going to spend the ARPA funds
And
on.
there's public records to support that.
As far as what? What do you mean public
That,
records?
what, him
Public records
looking
to
at it?
support this board investigated using ARPA money, and
I
you
mean-
found that it was not in compliance with procurement policies.
The project was
I
already.
can't say there's public records on it because I don't know that we wrote anything down.
But how did the board decide that it couldn't use it?
We didn't
The board did not
decide.
decide. It was determined.
We haven't made
within
any
our
decision.
resources
You just said
on
that
whether
you-
to- whether to
Chuck,
bring it to the board.
You just said the
We haven't made a
procurement rules
decision.
precluded you from using it.
Was
No.
already underway.
Because the federal ARPA rules said you had to follow federal procurement requirements.
Right.
The county does not utilize federal procurement requirements for sewer and water
But you can
projects.
create them.
It was too late, we already had bid it. Chuck, you have to understand, when you do a project, you bid it out. When you bid it out, that's the point where your requirements go into the bids and specifications.
Not after the
Not
fact.
a year and a half later, during the middle of construction. And if you didn't do that, if it wasn't under originally, you can't use that, you couldn't use those funds under the original release of the rules.
But
And
let's
I
see if we
sat-
can
I
use it.
sat through
Right.
at least 5 different presentations on the ARPA funds over the time, specifically looking for how do we use that for within the water resources in this project.
We had set, just roughly set aside, what, $1.8 million for water resources for projects.
Right.
What we were thinking of doing, other projects, or no specific project at all. But, that, if we're, have the ability, let's look at it and see if we can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruthie, League of Women Voters. Was there a meeting in which the board decided priorities for the ARPA money or how it would be spent? Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 different categories. Jerry, could you explain that?
Yeah, when first was provided that the ARPA funds were coming out, the board made a decision to authorize the auditor to request the funds to be delivered and to have those funds then be separated out into 3 categories, which one was, I forget what the...
Capital improvement.
It was capital improvements, utilities, and then third-party requests.
And then nothing
Is-
further since then.
Correct.
Right.
What would a third-party request be? University
Like
The
Hospital?
airport,
Right.
Spectrum?
the air spectrum,
Right, things like that.
yeah.
So if we formed a third party in Berkshire, we could come get that money. Ask for that money.
Well, you might not need to.
I'm just saying,
Right
Yeah.
on.
if we have to form a little partnership to become a third party to get the monies because we didn't secure the PO properly because it wasn't done that way to procure it,
Mhm.
then there's gotta be another way for the division to get that money. If Spectrum can have some, Berkshire LLC could have some.
I agree with you. Good.
Is there any other questions? Okay. Let's go, Jerry.
Yeah.
Alex Saplin from CBT. As you guys may know, this is going to be my last meeting as I accepted a new position with WIO, and I just wanted to just publicly thank you all for being infinitely great and wise, and just
Thank
being
you, Alex.
very understanding with everything. And I would not, have chosen any other path to go. It's been a pleasure working with you guys, and I really will miss you guys, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do for not only me as a resident of the county, as I've lived here for 11 years, but just me as a journalist in helping me provide news to this county. So I just wanted to publicly thank you guys for
Thanks.
everything you guys do and that you've done.
You did
You're
a
here
good
for
job.
journalism.
You did a good job. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
And I'm not one to normally take up time because I'm normally a fly on the wall, so I apologize, but I just thought I needed to say thank you guys publicly.
I apologize for not having a cake for you, but,
Right.
Today.
Okay. I'll take an emergency resolution. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Motion to adjourn.
I take a statue.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you.